we've got none other than Bryan Habana with us. So today I'm not going to take Bryan Habana on an 100-meter
Not again.
Not again.
To lose again.
But today we're going to chat to Bryan about something that really close to his heart, kids and the Laureus Sports Foundation. So what are we doing here today, Bryan?
So I think it's pretty cool that we are actually down in Muizenberg at one of the most incredible organizations, Waves for Change, a Laureus funded program where they take kids from previously disadvantaged communities, take them through a bit of surf therapy, take them into the waves and use this as an outlet, but also as a safe haven. You know, these kids come from some of the most devastating environments. And I think for me today, we're going to be launching something really cool in terms of the GoPro Hero 10, but we're going to be capturing content about exactly how important Waves for Change is.
Now, a lot of these kids are from, like a lot of us are from historically disadvantaged backgrounds. They don't necessarily have access to the waves and to surf.
Yeah.
So why is this so important that they see Bryan Habana doing it with him, you know?
So, son, I think it's really important to, when you have professional athletes that have a platform that these kids do look up to and are inspired by. But I mean, I can't surf. I am the worst person. But I think Seth Hulley's going to try teaching me along with two incredible Waves for Change coaches. And I think for them to be able to see me being a former professional athlete, but just giving myself up to the ocean and learning the real important integral understanding of, you know, how therapeutic the waves can be, but also that safe haven that the Waves for Change organization actually creates for them. So I think being able to be here for them, you know, see their energy, see their passion. I can't dance like they can dance. I know you also can't, but I think, you know, given what...
I know you can sing though. Table 2.
Yeah, table 2 in my shower, that's as far as it goes, Gasant. But yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Bryan and I were sitting at a wedding. We're not going to talk about whose wedding it was, but I know that this guy can sing. The Seth Hulley that he was making reference to is quite a good surfer who works for Oakley, and he's got his own surf school. So he's the guy who's going to go and come and guide you out here on the waves. But Waves for Change, let's focus on that for a second because they've just won an award, didn't they? Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so Waves for Change, obviously, I think, you know, it was incredible to see their growth, to see what they're actually doing from a giving back and, you know, using surfing or surf therapy as a tool to create social change. But then to get recognized on the international stage for what they do, you know, to win a global Laureus award is an absolutely incredible feat. And it just says so much about the foundation, says so much about the manner in which they're using the surf therapy as a tool to create a massive change, but also to give, you know, these incredible kids an avenue and a safe haven that makes them feel guarded, but makes them feel protected.
I think they're lining up to tackle you.
Yeah, let's not do that. I can't run. Dodgy knees.
So initially, when I had this interview with Bryan, like conceptualized, it was going to be whether I can take a tackle from Bryan Habana. I'm glad that this day didn't come, and that we've got the kids here to bring us here for something worthwhile. So from here, we're going back to the news on LIVEnLoud. Welcome to the news segment of LIVEnLoud with me, Gasant Abarder. Not your average news segment. Today I'm going to focus on policing, but rather policing in the context of people who look like me. Now, if you've ever been to a charge office at a police station, it's a place that I feel very anxious about. The fear comes out. And it's some childhood memories of being searched in the streets in Woodstock, where you'd be searched just for walking down the road. Cops were looking for drugs or ammunition or firearms, and my 13-year-old self found it very difficult to reconcile with this. So when I tell my white friends about this, they think it's an urban legend, but it's not an accident. As the B-roll here will suggest, footage by Wesley Fester. He's a video journalist, and he's been covering protests in Cape Town for almost 4 years now, and it shows protests like the one we saw on Saturday, where the Atlantic seaboard set, and Kothar. Protest against the vaccine, and then protests in the Cape Flats, where people queuing up for their SASSA grants are being water cannoned. So what's the difference? The difference really is that we moved from having a paramilitary police force into a service, but on the ground it's still the same. So you're being judged by the color of your skin, and that is wrong. It's a massive threat to our democracy. If we can't have equality in policing, it's a real knock on our democracy, as I said again. And we need to think about this. We need to think about our rights. When one set of people are treated with kid gloves and the other are met with an iron fist, there's something wrong. And it's a real throwback to apartheid days. So I'm appealing to the South African police services. Please just be consistent. If people are out there in their scores protesting without masks, it's against the law to be in public without a mask during these COVID times. So just enforce the law correctly. The following day, you guys were out there. And this really is a message for the guys on the ground, the police officers who risk their lives, who go out there. They face a lot of criticism. Do yourselves a favor. When you're out there and you're rounding up homeless people for being homeless, enforce the same rules and the same kind of humanity that you have for other citizens, those who have and those who don't have. For Live and Loud News, I'm Gasant Abarder. Ek is van die Soutraffie, Salt River. Yes, my house was in Woodstock, but most of the time I was closer to the circle. And on that circle, it really speaks to my heritage. Salt River Circle, that's where Good Hope Meat Hyper is located. Now, when I was growing up, it was on the other side of the corner. It was a bottle green building and it was much smaller, but they've grown into quite a powerhouse in the community, not just in Salt River, but beyond. They're online now, they've got all kinds of stuff talking to me about our heritage. And because it's Pride Day this Friday, is Riaz Fakir, who does marketing for Good Hope Meat Hyper. And he's going to tell us about this brand new range. But before I do that, Riaz, Heritage Day, or Pride Day as we now call it, is it like a second Christmas for you guys, or a second Eid in terms of trading?
It has most. First of all, thank you for having us on Live and Loud. It most certainly has become like you say, a second Christmas or even a third Eid, so to speak. Where our people have usually fried your normal sausage, chicken and chops, it's now gone on to your more matured cut steaks. And you know, our people
fillets,
like to go
pieces of fillets.
Yeah, our people like to look gourmet braai.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just your normal braai so on a sly. It's
But I've noticed that Good Hope even stocks Wagyu products, eh? Beef products.
Yes, we do. We have a range of Wagyu products. We also make our own brisket Wagyu burger, which is absolutely delicious.
Oh wow! I need to try that. To smoke on a smoker.
Absolutely.
But I want to. So recently, Good Hope Meats, and this is usually the part of the show where we do a blind test of products. So this is a new range by Good Hope Meats, and you'll find it in Checkers stores. That's a plain beef biltong. We're going to test it later on. This one, these two are the plain beef. And then there's a peri-peri version as well. Yes, this how lekker is this biltong for breakfast. Droevos stocks tray. This is for the snacks, when your guests arrive for Friday. And then there's also a range of cold cuts. Now, if anybody knows Good Hope Meat Hyper, you know you're going to get premium stuff. This is a brisket making. Yes, this the mense raak fancy daar in die Soutraffie. This is a beef pastrami, chicken pastrami, great for breakfast,
all of them. That's a
and this is a pressed beef, right? So, and then a favorite, Sunday evening favorite with rolls. This is your spice beef. So, if you go into Checkers, any Checkers stores, you will find these.
Yes.
So, tell me about that venture with Checkers. So you've gone from Salt River to the rest of the country now?
Yeah, so where it stemmed from was that because we are premium, we only offer a premium range when it comes to our cold meat cuts. It was a no-brainer to partner up with Checkers, seeing to where Checkers wants to move their brand to with regards to everything premium in their stores.
Yeah.
And with their 4 Checkers stores where the deli counters belong solely to us.
Oh, wow.
So it is manned by us, and it's only strictly our products are stocked
and
within
of
the
course,
deli.
everything's halal.
Everything's halal in those 4 stores. With regards to the pre-packs, they are found at all the Checker stores.
Yeah.
Not nationwide yet, but within our province.
Yeah. So Riaz is also here to talk. He's a braai master. So he's going to talk to us about what are people doing wrong? What do you see the common error when people are braaiing their chops? I mean, some people like it well done. Others like a little bit of tenderness, a medium rare. In our community, it's a braai om dood manier, a braai biltong. But what are some of the common mistakes, and what tips do you have for people to get that braai meat?
So what I've picked up to the many braais I've attended over the years is that people look. There's nothing wrong to marinate the way you want, whether you want it as saucy as they
Or
get,
spicy.
or spicy as
Yeah.
they get. That's not the issue. But the problem is to lay it onto the grid with warm coals when the coals are extremely warm and it's extremely saucy, because the sauce attracts
The heat.
the heat, and you burn your chop before it even
Saw the light of day.
Absolutely.
So what you want to get going is a nice seal. And then would you marinate it then afterwards?
Yes,
With the sauce?
yeah. Well, the best thing to do is if you want that sticky sauce, or you want your flavors to pull in even more, is to brush it after your second turn.
Okay. Okay, wow. After the second term, there's a method to the madness. But a lot of my friends, Afrikaans friends, who braai boerewors traditionally, and you've got a range of farm-style sausage as well. But your winner is a Dania sausage. So a lot of my friends who are Afrikaans don't actually know when that Dania wors or that nippy sausage is done. So what is your telltale sign? You don't want it to be too dry. So when is the ideal texture or look for you to take off?
My personal way is to just poke it with a fork or a sharp end of the knife, and to see if the juices are still splurting out enough. Once you see those juices drying up, your sausage must come off.
Okay.
Because
Otherwise it gets too dry.
Yeah,
right?
then you might as well just buy a packet of True Wars.
Okay, I know where I'm going to braai this weekend, but now that I can't wait for this part of the show, because now we're going to open these. We're allowed to open
Yes,
them?
absolutely.
Okay, so this is the peri peri beef biltong. Yeah, you know what I like about this? When I opened it, I could tell that it's not uitgedroog. It's quite tender. I can see from just looking at it. It's quite tender. So I'm taking off a piece. I'm not going to eat it alone, so you'll join me now for breakfast. Bismillah, Bata. It's got a very nice taste. And a very healthy fat content there as well, which is important because that keeps your biltong intact, isn't it? I'm a connoisseur when it comes to biltong. Trust me. If you come to my house, there's always biltong there. Doesn't last long, but it's always there. There's a nice smoky flavor as well.
So the important part is, like you said, the fat content plays an important part in the biltong.
And keeping it moist.
Because I don't know if you can remember us growing up, biltong was very different to what biltong is now. Back in the day,
Choking as
you didn't want to see fat on your biltong.
Yeah.
But now, as time has evolved and we've learned how to cure biltong in a better manner, it proves to you that it might
And
be
then,
more juicy.
what kind of sausage do you want to be using when it comes to your boerewors?
A farm style?
The farm style.
Farm style.
And is there any particular reason again for that fat content?
Yeah.
We want to keep some for the crew as well. Packaging is making a noise.
Yeah,
My
too
director
much.
in my ear, I'm sorry. Dis moes eet heel dag man. Kom nou wat hy wil kou. Wie sal hulle nou? Die worsie maak die dorsie. On that note, I want to bid farewell to a very famous gentleman by the name of Boeta Kassim, who coined all these phrases at the cricket and the rugby, like a sucker to make you wakker, a wafer to make your boyfriend stiffer, and a lolly to make you jolly. A real establishment, part of our heritage. On that note, happy Heritage Day. Get all your meat goodies from Good Hope Meat Hyper, premium quality stuff. I mean, I didn't need to even blind test the stuff to tell you that it was going to be quality. That's the guarantee, and that's the promise they give you. So, to Riaz Ahmed, Riaz Fakir, and the team, thanks for being on the show. You can see I'm in a hurry. I want to dive into these, so I'm stumbling over my words, but I'll see you next week on Live and Loud.